Now let's talk about the winter. One of the things that I have been talking to people lately is about the effect of the weather on our marriage. So I'm talking about weather. What is weather? You know what? I'm a scientist. I test people's blood, whether you have vitamin D or whatever, that hormones and all that. I test all that and I see what you have. But whilst I was in Ghana, Osmanfo, there's no way that I ever thought that vitamin D was an issue. There was no way that I thought that the weather will have any effect on us. But like I was telling you earlier on, when I took my bag and I was moving to UK, right, I thought I was coming for greener pasture. I was actually coming for things that will make my life better. Then that's the truth. But I missed something, which I never thought about them, is the sun. I wish I had taken a lot of the sun in my pocket. My God, you wake up and then the sun is kissing you. You go to sleep, the sun is going with you. You go into your room, the sun is chasing you. Everywhere in Ghana, Africa, Zimbabwe, South Africa, wherever you go, the sun is with you. How many of us know that the sun has profound effect on the way we even present ourselves? How many of us know that? Maybe you don't know. Let me show you this morning when I was going to work. At 8:30 on the left, that is UK. On the left at 8:30, that's me going to work, and I was taking the picture. I was in my car, traffic, so I took the picture, 8:30. This is the weather. This the weather I woke up in the morning, and it had not changed. On my right, when I finished work at 5 o'clock, before I came to my car, this is the weather that is on the right there. So the question you must ask yourself, so these weathers, have they got any effect on myself and on my marriage? When you were coming to UK, did you think that this is the weather you were going to, or when you were coming to Sweden? I don't know about Sweden, but there's one thing that I found today that surprised me when I was looking into the weathers. That even Sweden has more sunshine throughout the year than England. I never knew that. Right? I was comparing three areas, Ghana, Sweden, and the UK. Ghana has 7 to 9 hours every day. Sweden have on the average 5 hours a day in the whole year on the average. Of course, the north and south dividers, there are differences. England on the average is 4 hours a day, the whole year, including all the summer. And I was shocked because I've always said that, I always tell people, if you go to the Scandinavia, I'm sure that they have less sun. But apparently your summers are longer than our summers, which I never knew. So that means that, guys, you are okay. You are okay in Sweden. Please enjoy there. You are okay, cry. You are okay. And so, let me talk to you about the sun. The sun really changes mood. The sun is what we need to actually manufacture what we call vitamin D. And as Africans, God is so wise where He placed us. There's so much sun. For that reason, God has given us what we call melanin, which is the black covering of your skin. And that prevents you from having skin cancers. That also means that when you move in a place like where the weather I'm showing you, right, that melanin also prevents the sun from coming directly to your skin. It does sort of deflect the sun. Which means that every African that lives in Europe, North America, your absorption for the sun is so less compared to a white person. A white person can absorb the sun. God, by adaptation, God has created them so much that even if the small amount of sun comes into the sky, they can absorb them. Whereas we cannot absorb them. We will take about 3 times, they will absorb, let's say, if they can absorb, let's say, 10% of the sun, we need more of the sun before we can absorb anything into our skin. So by this reason, almost every African living in the North and America and Europe are vitamin D deficient because of lack of sun. Someone will say, what have that got to do with marriage? Of course, there's nothing to do with marriage. It's just the sun. It's just vitamin D. But maybe those of you who are doctors and nurses, those of you who are in healthcare, or those of you who are scientists would understand that vitamin D is not just a bone hormone. It has so many influence in your mood, even your sexual desire. It has so much effect on it. It has effect on your emotions. So without vitamin D, in fact, I've seen a lot of our women who are maybe going through menopause, who are always, not that they want it, but you can see that even when they are walking so gingerly. And you can see that even the men, I didn't know this. There were times that I was so emotional, that I was so weak. I wake up and I'm so tired. I have no desire for sex. And I said, what is going on? And then I had a medical examination. By the grace of God, in my workplace, we have annual health screening. And one of them, I went. And then they checked my vitamin D. It was only 13. 13. In fact, the normal range for you to be not deficient, you have to be 50 and over. And I had 13. And then straight away, they put me on a booster, vitamin D booster, thousands of units. Then they told me every day, as a black person, you need vitamin D. You know what? After 3 months, I have become very active. I have desire for sex. I am very smiley. And I said, wow. And when I went to check again, this time I'm about over 60. And then I could see the energy. Because before then I was so lethargic. So I'm telling you all this because when you see your husband be feels short-tempered, very, very, very emotional, or your wife very, very emotional, it doesn't want to do anything to do with you about sex, the chances that lack of sun is making the person so weak and also have become emotional and moody. And it's part of what we don't know. This is what we call the hidden enemies. They are enemies that fight against us. And they fight against your marriage as well. You know what? Some of us too, because we want to save money, our rooms are so cold. And then you come out and then there's no heat in our room. And then you're already fighting, your emotions, the moodiness. You go out there and then you come home and then the room is also cold. And then how would you have any desire for even intimacy? So when we're talking about one flesh, some of these things will even prevent you from even linking up with your spouse. You are going out, you are angry. You are coming in, you are angry. The sun is not there. So all these are some of the, what I call the secret enemies of African marriages abroad. But we don't see it and we don't know about it. So tonight, if you don't hear anything at all about me, please check your vitamin D. If your spouse is being cold, short-tempered, is also not have any desire for intimacy, is also become very emotional, every small thing that they're not supposed to flare up, they are flaring up, there's a reason. Prayer can change all things, but instead of some of the things, we should spare ourselves. But knowledge is power. And the Bible says, my people perish for lack of what? Knowledge. So tonight we want to give you all this information for you to understand that there are other invisible forces that fight against us. I call them invisible forces. They fight against us. And so if your spouse is not enjoying or doesn't want to come near you, it's not because they got a boyfriend. It's not because they got a girlfriend. No. It's also because other things are fighting against them. They are fighting against what we call seasonal affective disorder. In fact, S8 is called SAD. NHS in England, I don't know about your end. It's a form of depression. A lot of people are depressed because of the weather, and people get treated for that. So it's a seasonal affective disorder which causes depression, and that one will cause couple to argue. People become very, very unapproachable and disagreeable. Anything that you don't have to fight, you are fighting because season has come, and we are all feeling the power of the weather. So you can pray, you can do whatever you can. But if your vitamin D levels are that low as what mine was, you don't have the energy. Especially women who are going through menopause. Already you are losing estrogen, you are losing progesterone, and then you're also losing vitamin D, because when you are losing progesterone and you are also losing estrogen, you are becoming brittle, and arthritis are already around the corner. So vitamin D also helps to strengthen your bones. So without vitamin D, you don't produce much calcium. And that also means that you become very brittle. So if you are not lucky and you sleep, you are in trouble. So I want to bring to your attention that some of these things are more subtle, but we can beat it. I want us to beat it in Jesus' name. Amen. And that is one of the reasons why even the white people go on holidays. I brought the holidays again. Holidays. Please. In this weather like what I have on the screen, you cannot live in this weather for how many? For 3 months. It's not good. And so white people, they know that their place here is not good. As for Sweden, I know Stockholm is fine. But England is so bad. So that means that at least twice every year, a couple is supposed to go out in a place in the sun. Not in the summertime, actually in the winter times. Because even if you take the vitamin D pills, apparently it becomes more digestible and more absorbable when you have enough sun as well, or when you have a bit of sun. And you know what? Some of us also, because we also work in the night shift, that is even killing us altogether. When you work in the night shift as well, I'm not saying don't work in the night, because some of you are young parents, some of you have to do, and I did that with my wife as well. When we had little children, you know what we used to do? Phyllis will work in the night, I work in the day, I look after the children. But as soon as Nana, who is our last child, was in year 5, going to year 6, and then she said, Daddy, don't take me to school again. I said to Phyllis, end of night. We need to have a job that you can work 9 to 5, so that daytime we are here. So we stopped doing night shift. Night shift is also another killer. Night shift kills people. So if you are doing a night shift, please, as soon as situation becomes a bit better, if it's not about the money, please, not even about money, unless it's about your family, maybe you are sacrificing for the family, that is good. But please don't do night for long or prolonged time. Stop it, because it has such profound effect also on your health as well. People don't sleep well when they do night shift, and so they are tired all the time. That means that intimacy is also difficult. Besides that, when you are tired, you are also short-fused as well. So please, as soon as things become better in your home or workplace, shift from a night shift today, because it can also affect your mood. People who work in the night can easily be bloated as well, because time that you're supposed to rise and eat and all that. So please, I'm not saying that stop it, but when situation become better, you can also shift, because people who work in the night, what do they also do? They sleep in the day. That also means that you are preventing the sun. You can't get the sun. The sun is already small, so we are sharing it. By the time that we want to share the sun, you're also sleeping. Not your fault. You also need to sleep, of course. But that also means that, one, you are not only depriving your husband in the night from enjoying, or your wife from enjoying you, you are also not getting enough sun. That will also help you. Let me leave that one for now. So the reality is what I've already told you. So now, let me talk to you also about the heavy weight of expectations on African couples. Heavy weight, the effect of this. You know what? There's one thing that I have seen over and over and over and over that affecting couples' marriage big time. The demands from home, from uncles, from nephews, from nieces, from friends. I know people that work so hard. Why do they work hard? They work hard because, one, it's not only for themselves. Of course, I have about 5 people I paid their school fees, and it is tough for me. My sister, I have only got one sister. We have 5 boys and 1 sister. Married, had 5 children. 2 years ago, the dad passed away. What does it become? It's now on me that I have to look after 5 children. Just imagine. As if that is not enough, I have also my mom who is still there. My dad passed 2 years ago. And even until that, I have all of them. And I also have 5 other siblings, only 1 in the United States. So all the other 4 are also there. That everybody wants you to chip in every now and then. You know what? The pressure on us. And nobody told me that when I come to UK, I'm going to face all this pressure. When I was in Ghana, nobody put that pressure on me. As long as they know you've traveled, then there's pressure. And sometimes it becomes so frustrating that you don't even want to tell your spouse, don't want to tell your husband, don't want to tell your wife that they've come again, they are demanding. Then it looks like, it's only you. It's only you. And as soon as you begin to hide things, then the oneness that I'm talking about, the oneness, the unity, then becomes disjointed, because something is broken. One thing I want to ask you is this. When there's demands from home, would you and your spouse talk about it and say, honey, this is what they are asking for. Can we afford it? So that the two of you would then sit and say, you know what, darling, we haven't even paid for the gas. We haven't even paid for our bills. We haven't even paid for the rent. If this goes, how are we going to pay for that? Instead of one person taking decision and then taking it away. I'm saying this because marriage is a spiritual covenant. And everything that you do to hide actually is geared towards breaking that covenant. And I don't want anyone to go through that because we are covenanted. We are joined together. We are heirs of God. We are one. We are together. And so if we are together, we have to move in the same direction. So one of the silences or the voices or the secret enemies that affect couples is the expectations from home. You get a phone call. Okay, see, you've been in Sweden for the last 5 years. Even your brother who went to US has already completed 2-story buildings. And as if that is not enough. And then they'll tell you, oh, we have found a land here. Oh, there's a land around the corner here. It's only going for 50 million. This one, you should be able to buy. And then it makes you feel bad. You go and buy it. The next day, we need a cement. Oh, we need iron rods. Oh, we need this. Oh, we need that. And so the pressure keeps piling up. So whether you have the money or not, the money have to go because you're also a burger, so you need to build a house. I'm not saying that we shouldn't build at all. It's important. For me, the first thing when we moved into UK was to find a place for my mom because my mom didn't have a place to live at all. So Phyllis and I, we took a loan, we built a house for my mother. And as soon as we finished that, I say it is done. We don't need any other house in Ghana. When we go to my village, we sleep there, and then we come back. Or Phyllis' parents also have accommodation in Accra. We sleep there. We don't care where we sleep. Some of you have 3 houses. Some have 4 houses. Some have 5 houses. But some people don't even have one single house in Sweden. You don't even have one single flat that you can call your own, even in Stockholm. But you have 3 houses. Please, I want to beg of you. Don't let the expectation from home because you are a burger, intimidate you because you have done this. Don't let that put you down because you need to look after yourself. And this weight of expectation has caused some of you to have what we call multiple jobs. And the multiple jobs is one that is also killing us. Some of you cannot even have time to go and have health check. Some of you cannot even have time to go to the gym. You can't even have a walk around. You can't even hold your wife's hand or your husband's hand. And look at the survey. The wife says, we want a spiritual leader. You are not home. The men are not home. They've gone for one shift, second shift, third shift. It's not your fault because you also need to look after yourself here and also build in Ghana, which means that you are depriving your wife of what we call the spiritual headship. Wake up in the morning, pray, go to work, come back, pray and sleep. Sleeping together. My next book that is coming out is called The Secret in the Bedroom. Secret in the Bedroom. When you and your wife sleep together, there are so many benefits that you have. But of course, not all of us can have that. But as soon as you can have, please, let's sleep together. Sleeping together have profound benefits. The benefits are so many. It's not about just sex and intimacy. The cuddle, the emotions, the feelings, that we share together. Some of you can easily detect that your spouse is having a condition if they sleep with you. You can sleep that the way my husband breathes nowadays is not right. Honey, I think we need to go for a checkup. But if you don't sleep together, how are you going to see it? You don't see it. If the weight of expectation has been placed on ourselves, then please, let's do away with them. At the end of the day, when you were coming abroad, nobody sent you. You came by yourself. Let's partner. I really like what Mama Ekuya shared last night. He said that one of the 4 P's of helping your spouse, she was talking to the women, is partner with your spouse. And if we are not there, we cannot do that. You see, impression that we create also place a lot of expectation on us. Some people, as soon as they come to UK or come to Stockholm or they go abroad, the first thing that they create is that, oh, look at me and my wife and my children. Look at the chicken. Meanwhile, your mother is home, you never have chicken. Your sister is home, I never enjoy this chicken. And then your friends are home, and then you post this on your Instagram, you post this on your Facebook, and then you are sending them pictures. Your car that you just bought, even if the car is even on credit, but you take picture and you go and show to everyone. But these cars are all bought on credit, but you go and show it to everyone. What do you expect them to actually do? Hey, Jack, why are you pal? Jack, are you yankasa? When you were in Zimbabwe, you didn't even have a bicycle. You came to UK, you came to Stockholm, and then 1 year you are driving your Mercedes, you are driving BMW. Look at the chicken. So you create all this impression, and what happened? You are inviting the demands. So please, this will also bring a lot of pressure on your marriage, on your finances, and also on your children. And then whilst you go to sleep, whilst your wife wants you, maybe there is pressure on her, and the two of you just look at the man. The woman is stressed, right, because of multiple jobs. So please, what I'm saying is that we need to work hard. And now I like it because if you don't work hard, Pentecost, we're not going to get money. We need money. So you want everyone to work hard so that we can get more money. It's important. Pay your tithe, bring more money, and then more offering. But also consider your health. Consider your relationship. Whatever that you are doing. Is this job, if I go for this job, is it going to help me? I remember someone who came to me and says they married here in my town and then they moved to the Midlands. The lady had all her family here, and then the man also only had the friends in Milton Keynes. You know what happens? As soon as they go home, this man just put the things down and said, okay, this is the flat. And then the man went to work the next morning. They've just been married for 1 week. Every day, 12-hour shift, 5 days a week. Not even 5 days, 6 days. Every day. And the woman is feeling so miserable. So miserable. You know what? It's one shift after another. It's so good. I like to be able to do that anyway. I don't even have the strength anyway. But let's think about the effect that it has also on our marriage. Because we can easily lose the strength, the capacity, and also the intimacy. The loss and grief, I'm talking to the wives. There's one thing that I never knew. And this is what I want the wives to really take seriously. And maybe even the husbands as well. Do you know that when you move away from your family and you come to a place like here, you have lost your relationships, you have lost your friends, you have lost maybe your jobs and other things. And people grieve for a long time. I was talking to a minister of God. I mean, he has lived in Europe for a long time. And then when he was going to marry, he married from Ghana, brought the lady, and then leave the woman in one place. And then he has also been transferred to another place to go and minister. The woman is all by herself. The woman cries every day. You brought me in here. I'm all by myself. In Ghana, I can have my friends. I have a child now. I can have the support. I can have, everyone around me. So people grieve when they move out here. They grieve. Some people grieve because they have no one to talk to. They grieve because they have lost their relationships. Women love their relationship. My wife, for instance, can talk to everybody in their family. Men are good. Men, whether that they are good, men can just leave the place and we forget about even our moms and our fathers once we got our wives. That's why when I was showing you what men really want, I was telling you about the fact that men are always talking about their wives, about their wives. So when they have their wives, they're okay. That's why as soon as men lose their spouse, you know what? They are looking for another one to replace them. I recently saw a man of God who have lost their wife. And even before the barrier, the man called me, a man of God, and said, Elder, please pray with me. Because I have already seen some of the women and I want to marry because I cannot sit in this. The woman has not been married, but the man is telling me to pray with him because he's going to marry. If the woman is gone, he's going to marry. And it's not like a young person. It's a man in his 60s. It's because men, all that we have is our wives and our children. So when we lose them, but women don't live. And that's why the Bible, for me, I take the Genesis chapter 2 literal. He said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother. That means that it's the man that will leave. The woman will never leave his father and his mother. They will always call them. So it is normal. So when we take them away from them, it becomes hard. It's so hard on them. So tonight, husbands, if you have taken someone's daughter from where they can have fellowship, relationship with their family and friends, you have a duty and responsibility to ensure that where you have brought them, you are keeping them company. You are making them one flesh. You are ensuring that they don't miss their parents. They don't miss the relationship that they left behind. But what do we see? We see that so many people in marriage who are living like they are divorced. This should not be your portion. Please, these are all what is putting it apart. That's why I told you that the one major work of the enemy is that the two of us will never become one. And so the work and the money that you are looking for and all that is all geared towards preventing you from becoming one flesh. I don't want anyone to lose their husbands or their wives. Not losing them as dying, but losing the engagement, connection. We need to be connected. We need to be connected to them. So please, there's one thing that I also learned, when I came to this country about the cold. Men can tolerate heat maybe 2 degrees higher than women. And women really don't function well when they are in the cold. So please, let's keep the room warm if we want to maintain intimacy. Keep the room warm. It doesn't matter. The morning we will die and we leave them. So please protect yourself, protect your relationship, protect your room, protect your intimacy. And one way of protecting that is that please let the money go and keep your rooms and your house warm. If you do that, your wife or your husband will always be cheerful to have intimacy with you. But if we go to sleep with hairgear, with socks, with long trousers, and then with pajamas, that the man cannot even see. Oh my God, some are even wearing. People have so many things, they don't help intimacy. But I think my plea is that let's keep the room warm abroad so that the women will not miss anything. We need to keep them happy. One thing I said to men, listen to this carefully. We married them. We have formed a family. We are the CEO of the family. If the marriage works, men, it is on us. If it doesn't work, it is on us. Because we are the CEO of the family. When God is looking for Sarah, he's not going to ask somebody else. He's going to ask Abraham. If God come into the family, if there's any problem, he's not going to ask Auntie Ekuya that why did this happen. He's going to ask Osofu that, Osofu, what have you done? That's what he did to Adam. So please, the men, we have a duty and responsibility. That's what headship is all about. If we are a head, it's the head that rules. We need to maintain that. I want to bring my message to a close soon. And the stress, please, stress is destroying us. Stress is destroying us. And that's a silent killer as well. Stress. Recently, I lost a big brother and a friend. And also a friend of Apostle as well. Honestly, no person should die of stress. But I want to tell you that if you don't kill your stress will kill you. So in our marriages, why are we stressing each other? Please, help to ensure that your spouse is not stressed. Help to remove stress from your spouse. Whatever you can do to remove stress. You see, some of us, we lack intimacy because the woman is tired, is stressed. Your man is tired, is stressed. Too much stress. One thing that I want to leave with you is that please help to avoid stress. If your spouse come home and they are looking stressed, help them to de-stress. Whatever you can do. Massaging, do it. Nice shower, do for them. If you have to even cook their best meal, please do for them. Life is short. You know what? People are dying of stress. Why should someone die at 50? Why should someone here die at 45? And I don't want anyone to die of stress. But I want to leave you with this. Some people have got type 2 diabetes because of stress. Some people have got hypertension because of stress. People are getting strokes because of stress. Please, this should not be your portion in the name of Jesus. One of the things that I want you to go home and work on it. Talk to your husband or your wife. Is there anything on you that is stressing you that I can be of help? Please tell me. At the end of the day, if you live for me. If you die, I have nobody. So we need to protect each other. I want you to protect your spouse. Protect your husband. Protect your wife. protect your children, protect your family. You know what? The level 3 that I'll talk about is important. Ensure that the two of you are united. Unity. Anything that will come, whether it's ideology, whether it is a call from home, whether it is stress from work, please make sure that it doesn't touch your spouse. It doesn't touch your husband. It doesn't touch your wife. I like somebody like, I'm going to mention and then you will laugh. Jezebel. Somebody said, Jezebel, yes. But he did something so profound. When Ahab could not sleep, and then Jezebel realized that this guy is stressed. He said, my husband, what is it? He said, I want this guy's garden. He's not going to give it to me. So I'm stressed. Jezebel said, come on, Tafiakwa, you will not be stressed. I'm going to get that for you. So tonight, if there was anything that you will learn from Jezebel, I'm not saying that be Jezebel, but if there's one thing you learn from Jezebel, is the fact that she distressed the husband and ensured that the husband had a garden. It's not because I want you to go and do any mischievous things. No, but I want to say that if there's anything in your spouse's life that is stressing them out, go talk about it. Take time to cook together. Take time to sleep together. Take time to walk together. Hold hands. Take time to laugh. I know some of you don't even pray together because you are already angry with each other. Last night, Mama Ekuya was talking about couples have to pray together. They have to also partner together. And I know that some of you don't do it because the stress levels are so much. And the only way you can do that is to de-stress, and enjoy each other. If you don't sleep together, you don't pray together. And couples who don't pray together will not stick together. You will not get to that level, which is the oneness.